Welcome to another episode on our channel. I decided to create Lestat, performed by or portrayed by Tom Cruise in Interview with the Vampire that came out in 1994, because I had created earlier Lewis, portrayed by Brad Pitt. This is the only movie that Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise ever worked on together. I don't think they hit it off very well, so they've never performed together since then. 1994, that was a long time ago. Of course, since I had created Lewis, I wanted to create Lestat. I may create Armand, who is portrayed by Antonio Banderas. I don't know of any Christian Slater head sculpt that I could get a hold of, or Kirsten Dunst head child. When she was young, she performed that role of being Brad Pitt's daughter, Lewis's daughter, in that film. So anyway, I was able to get a hold of a head with longer hair. It was unpainted, and I didn't realize it actually, because of some of the wrinkles in his face, it's actually an older Tom Cruise, which would be not quite right for Interview with the Vampire, but it was the only one I could find of long hair that I thought would work, and it was unpainted, and I didn't notice that it was an older head sculpt, but since it's been painted, you can tell it's an older portrayal of Tom Cruise. I didn't have the artist who painted this head sculpt. I didn't have her paint the hair lighter in color as it was in the movie, because it just didn't seem right for Tom Cruise. And I took artistic license and said, hey, go ahead and paint it brown. So that's what she did. Thank you to Tom and Joy Snyder. She does tremendous work on custom head sculpts. Those folks were fantastic. That's all I can say. Anyway, he looks great in this outfit. He's got Napoleonic clothing on, very much like what I put on Brad Pitt for Lewis's character. And I think he looks awesome. Other than having an older head sculpt, it works for me. But it is hard to find a younger head sculpt with longer hair. So this is my only choice, I felt anyway. And it works for me, like I said. So we'll pause now and get him on a turn tray and get some close-ups of his outfit. The outfit is outstanding. So darn it, I forgot to share a few things about him. This is a new thing I'm trying to do with characters that I'm showing. Tom Cruise is a Scientologist. He has been one for several years. He's very committed to that faith system. It's not a traditional faith system. Well, you'd have to read about it. It's different. He at one time wanted to become a Catholic priest, but after he got into movies and so forth, somehow he came into contact with Scientology and became a Scientologist. He's been married 3 times. He has a biological child with his third wife, Katie Holmes. Child's name is Suri. And with Nicole Kidman, the previous marriage, 2 adopted children, Connor and Isabella. He's not in contact really with Nicole or Katie Holmes or Suri, because they're not part of the Scientology church anymore. And there is this practice of not being engaged or maintaining contact with people who are not in the church. He is in contact with his adopted children because they are still in the church, Connor and Isabella. The thing that I'm at odds with, or the thing that is really hard to understand, is this animosity against psychiatry. Their Scientology has a long-standing record of being against psychiatry, and so he's part of that faith system and firmly believes it's has evils attached to it. And of course, I'm former military, former mental health practitioner. I don't buy into that philosophy on any level. I believe in psychopharmacological interventions. I believe in counseling. They would not be in support of either of those things outside of auditing within the church, which is their form of counseling, so to speak. So that's kind of why I'm at odds with him. His personal philosophy doesn't resonate with me. That's it. He is a great actor, though. You have to say that. There's a lot more about him that's very interesting, and I'll say that for the closer shots from here on up. So we'll be right back. I wanted to add some additional information about him in a historical sense. So he is a Scientologist. We said that before. He wanted to become a Catholic priest at one time, but of course that faded over time and he entered Scientology. He is very active, physically fit. He knows kickboxing, karate, and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So he's well versed in martial arts. He has his own pilot's license, and that probably served him well with making some of the Top Gun movies, and perhaps why he was attracted to making those movies. Interestingly, he was offered the role for Iron Man, which he turned down, which I'm thankful for because I love Robert Downey Jr. in that role. His real name is Thomas Cruise Mapother IV. That's a mouthful, and it does not flow off the tongue very well. So I think it was a wise choice to shorten Thomas to Tom and go with the Cruise part, because that's definitely easier to say. So I think at this point we can get some tighter close-ups of his head. We'll be right back. I think you can see that this is an older face. I'd rather err on the side of a younger face, even if it has facial hair, beard, and mustache, that sort of thing. But it is well painted by Joy Snyder. Tom and Joy, thank you for this particular painting, this custom. A few more interesting things about Tom Cruise is that he's done over 40 movies. I believe the most successful movie was Top Gun Maverick, but he's done Mission Impossible movies. His movies have grossed over $11.5 billion altogether. So he's been very successful as an actor. We'll just go side to side here. So when I get the newer head, the younger looking head, we'll re-show this figure along with Brad Pitt, who played Lewis in Interview with the Vampire. Of course, Tom Cruise played Lestat. And I eventually want to make Armand, as I noted earlier, who was portrayed by Antonio Banderas. So we'll be right back. So here's one last look at our figure of the day. I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day.